Hi, Dumpster Divas. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. And today I am joined by both halves of the How Were You Brainwashed podcast. Jenny and Nicole are here. I was on the podcast back in January. It is a absolute joy. Feels like we've lived 1,000 lives since we recorded that on December 31st. Or we recorded on like December 30th. And then
Right.
after that, the world kind of imploded. So, but you know, long overdue to have you here on the podcast. Nicole was on back in the depths of the pandemic, and she's back. And Jenny's here for the first time. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, y'all make me really, really lol. We had such a great time together, and I have to bring the lols here.
We are family from that app, and I hope to deliver the same level of familial banter today.
Yeah, we absolutely will. We are now getting to really dive headfirst into Bravo today, which I think will be a blast. I always like facilitating a safe space for people to chat about reality TV. You know, like because I know that not everyone gets to do that on their own or on their platforms. So I'm excited to hear both of your takes on this garbage we watch to get us through the day.
Absolutely thrilled.
No, Jenny, Nicole answered this before, but when we have new people on the pod, we like to check in with like their journey with reality television and what kind of brought us here, what made you a dumpster diva. Was there a certain show, a reality star that you were like, this is for me?
I love this question. Before the pandemic, I would say I was more of a Bachelor Nation type person. And then in the pandemic, I had, a day job that was mindless and would be on these horrible calls. And then I would take breaks and watch Real Housewives. So I started from the beginning on RHONY.
Okay, great.
As per Nicole's recommendation, and then I have since then just flown through almost every single franchise from the beginning.
Wait,
so a lot of
really?
them are fresh.
Wait, Jenny, that is a feat.
It's I'm unwell, you could say.
Nicole, I know that you are a lifelong scholar, like I am.
Thank you.
And I think I'm positive you guided her correctly. Where did Nicole guide you after RHONY? Like what was like kind of the stepping stones?
We went RHONY first, then she guided me to Beverly Hills.
Great second, yep.
And then I think I jumped in on Potomac after that. And Salt Lake because there was sort of less ground to cover. I believe I was on the ground floor of Salt Lake, actually.
Yeah, probably.
By that time, I was in the universe.
And Bravo is the best thing. I hope my boss never finds this episode, but Bravo is the best thing to just have on in the background when you're working from home. Because you can hop in, hop out. Like you don't really have to listen to every word, They
repeat themselves so much. You see the end of the scene, then we have a commercial break. We see that scene again. Like no matter what you're doing, you're going to get and then the next episode, you're going to get a recap. So yeah, it's very easy to be like doing spreadsheets.
Now on RHONY, who were you kind of like immediately gravitated towards?
Wow. Well, at the very beginning, I would say Bethany was, speaking. She was our voice as the audience voice. So I was drawn to her. And then once we got Sonia, I was very taken. Felt very kindred to her. I just love the hot mess of it all. She just is, and this is something we can get into, with new RHONY and new gals coming in who are just not fully themselves, Sonia came in and she was Sonia.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes you need ladies on these shows and just people on any of these shows that need a check because Sonia needed a check at that time. Like if we go back and think about it, like she had just been divorced pretty recently from Mr. Morgan. She was living in that townhouse, well, until even very recently, alone for the first time. And didn't have much going on besides just being a mom and trying to figure out what's next. And I think sometimes that's why I don't know about Nicole how you feel about this as a scholar.
Thank you.
The influx of influencers on these shows. Like I like I like kind of my cast members like 50 plus, like just living their life, and then a camera turns on. You know, where are you at with that?
I think I want them to have no self-awareness and awareness about others.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want them to be sort of policing how they're coming across, but I do like with like old RHONY, sometimes you would touch down with Sonia saying some really insightful thing about Dorinda, and you'd be like, wow, okay, yeah, I know you're getting other people, even though you're not understanding what is happening inside the house.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I mean, absolutely. I mean, of course it is easier sometimes. I think I can speak for myself to point out what's happening in others, but, you know, not kind of look within. But, you know, I just did a RHONY rewatch of, like, I call it the golden age of RHONY, which is Bethany's return. So
of course,
season 7.
It's constant. Every time I have an anxiety spiral, I say, let's get
get
back to when Bethany returns. Yeah.
That is where Nicole tells people to come on in.
That's
I
where I
think
say
when you
too.
recommend RHONY.
Yeah, it's the perfect.
Yeah.
So I really believe that season 7 is a great entry because you don't need to know too much going in. They spell it out for you at the top.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a new era. So everyone is going into filming with like kind of new places. Like the dynamics have changed. But no, so I watched season 7 and then I'm in season 10, I think currently, the when they go to Colombia and when Luann's arrest and like all of that stuff. And you know, on this watch,
what's sticking out to you on this pass through?
I have found Sonia to be a villain.
Whoa, I was
So
not
she's
expecting
like-
you to say that.
She's so connected. Is she like deep with Ramona?
I-
That friendship, I'm always like, "Ugh, Sonia.
This time around, my perspective on her has shifted. Like, I've really kind of touched down with the fact that she is always talking to the press.
Yeah. But okay, so what? Who cares?
They're always like, girl, like an article just came out. We just told you to. We literally yesterday said stop talking to the press, and then an article came out. She's like, well, what am I supposed to do when the press asks a question? What am I supposed to do? And and then also like, maybe villain is not the right word, but I just kind of was a little bit had some distaste for her with the way that her drinking and like the behavior. I don't know. It just, maybe I'm a new evolved person, but I found myself more gravitated towards Dorinda and Luann than Sonia.
Wow.
One of my, like, I think the earliest Sonia tough moments that we don't really talk about a lot is when she was giving the speech at the Pride Parade when we got gay marriage,
yes.
and Alex and Simon wanted to speak, and she was like, absolutely not. I can be the only cast member that speaks.
Crazy.
And they're like, what are you talking about? That was such a mean little petty thing, and I think that's a little darkness there.
There is darkness within her. Like, there really is I think quite a bit. The rage she has towards the delusion she has towards her old life, and the rage she has that it doesn't exist anymore is very compelling to watch. Though sometimes, like the Morgan letters and the like, I just recently watched the episode with the crest. How Dorinda was like, Sonia was like, on my shoe, that's my crest, and Dorinda's like, but what's your crest? Like the Tremont crest? And he's like, no, the Morgan crest. It's like, well, you're not a Morgan, babe.
That's my family. That's
like,
stuck in my brain.
It's
her
tough.
saying that.
And, you know, I mean, allegedly now she's like gone full Trumper too.
Wait, really?
No.
Yeah, like I think she may just hang with people that like get her places, unfortunately. And right now it's like the rich white Trumpers of Palm Beach. You know, and because she threw like a big like pro-Trump election party.
Wait, really?
no. It was an inauguration party.
Oh no.
Sonia. It's tough to think about her being there fighting for the gays, fighting for the gays,
Right.
quotation marks. To today, I don't know. But going back and rewatching it, it really is it's comfort. What a great place that Nicole had you start, Jenny.
Yeah, it was really joyous to going back in time in New York, because whenever they started, it was like 2009, 2010 or something, in that like early,
I think it was like
earlier
2006
aughts.
even. Yeah, 2007. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, which was like when we got to New York. So not to dox our age. Nicole hates to reveal our age, but we went to NYU. So we came here as little children, and like the places they go, like I remember when Luann goes with her niece to oh my
Her
God,
niece Nicole that dated Adam.
Dated Adam
famously?
was on
Right.
the artist show on Bravo. I don't know if you guys watched that.
Sucklord.
What?
That one of the artists' name I'm
Sucklord?
almost positive was Sucklord.
Yes, it was like
And
an
like
art.
great work of art, next work of art.
Yeah, his name was Suckle. I don't remember. I didn't remember. that.
I think somebody fact check it. Have your
Yeah, work
one of
of
your team
art,
members.
the next great artist or whatever. It was like Top Chef for artists, and
for
Nicole.
art. What were they doing? Painting?
They were doing art.
Yes.
Live?
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's like making a dish can be. You're like, get the
Sure,
eggs,
no,
get
it
the
was-
spices.
It
What
was,
are their lips like?
canvas. It was canvas, oil, whatever you needed to have on the canvas.
Go
but
look
it was
shop.
canvas. I think maybe
Well,
some
how do you
soft
add
sculpture,
steaks
but
to that?
well, it only
Just
had one
time.
season, so
Right. The things they really.
I mean, they also had the show about like doing haircuts.
Yeah.
Like, they were
Special
like-
effects. I remember the like makeup artists, like Alien.
well, we
Yeah,
can't
they
be
tried.
We can't be too mad at the haircut show though, because one Tabitha
Haircut
Coffee was a
show.
contestant on the haircut show, which then led to Tabitha's salon takeover, which is now on Peacock. If you haven't dove into that, Jenny, maybe that's your next step.
Wow.
My partner Brian and I rewatched the first season like last summer when it dropped on Peacock. It is so fun because that was like the air like that. There was a time where those types of makeover shows were so popular, like business makeover types of shows and like interior makeover shows. Like, and Tabitha is so mean to these people. It's amazing. She's so mean, but she also like genuinely wants them to do well. Like it comes from like a nice place, but she'll be like, I'm not going to do an Australian accent, but she'll be like,
Please give it a whirl.
Do it.
sometimes I can get into it. To it. She's like, this salon is absolutely garbage.
Basic.
Flawless.
You're an absolute piece of shit for this salon. You must have lost your mind. No, it's
You
great.
must have lost your mind.
I would absolutely suggest diving into it.
I would love to do that. I've been also thinking about like going back in my life, and the D List I feel like is on Peacock, and I
Also
would
watch
maybe
some
like
of
to
that.
take
It's
a
great.
tour with that again.
Yeah, okay, so I watched the first season of that as well when it got dropped. It is great, obviously, but it doesn't age. Season 1 didn't age quite as well. I would jump in maybe a little later. There's some like weird terminology that is not used anymore that they're all throwing around.
Well,
there's some weird
certainly, I'm
storylines.
sure.
There's some weird storylines about she has such a darkness with her, like the men in her life. And I don't know if you remember about the husband. So she was married
Oh,
when the
I
show
remember.
started. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guy who stole from her. or whatever.
Embezzled. or
He was like
Embezzled.
taking her money and putting it into like different investment things, and like she didn't know where the money was going, and he was losing the money, and he almost just ruined her financially. So he's on the show though.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
it's
I do remember.
It's a little, and the show isn't salacious, so they don't really dive into it. It's more just like sad and weird. And I saw Kathy when she was here at Carnegie Hall.
I was there.
Oh, you were there? Oh my god!
Yes.
It was so wonderful to see her back in that genre again. Like that's not like her. If you're listening and you somehow have never seen her stand up, that would be crazy to me, because I feel like, I don't know about y'all, but I like grew up on those stand up specials on Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they were on loop.
Yeah. she has such a different way of talking. She was like the first person to do what we're doing right here, essentially. You know, like just gossip about people. Like there's not even so many like punchlines as it is just like stories and just nagging on celebs, and people don't do that much anymore. And the way that she did it, and it was really refreshing to see it.
It was delicious. I was just like, tell me about Jane Fonda making you a quesadilla all night, babe. That's I don't know if it's a joke, but I love it. I want to hear it.
Absolutely. And in that she talked a little bit about her divorce, and it like breaks my heart. Like I want her to find something, you know?
Yeah. She's had some tough men.
I know. She really has. Well, back into the wives. So what are we all watching currently? Are we up to date on anything? Are we where are we at?
I'm watching all my friends. I'm watching my Potomacs. I'm watching my Beverly Hills. I'm watching my Southern Charm and Hospitality. And
you know, Hospitality has really taken me in a way.
Agree.
Jenny,
have you done it?
No, I haven't done it. I'm trying to do Southern Charm from the beginning.
So that rewatch from the beginning is good until a certain point, and then you kind of can just hop up to current.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like,
Where can I stop? I'm only on season 1, so
you can stop at like season 4 or 5, I think. Like you can meet Austin,
like when Cameron leaves.
Like Austin's first season, I think, is also Cameron's like last season. Like I feel like that's like a good. Like you should meet the origin story of Austin Kroll because he's been on the show for so long now, and then I think you can kind of just hop to current.
I agree,
because a lot of it was based around just Thomas Ravenel being this like just terrible like womanizer, which is terrible, but it's also a little fascinating to watch like how they navigated all of that. He runs for state senate on the show.
Oh no!
Against Lindsey Graham.
Oh my god!
Our two best friends.
In season 2, and the idea that he is like the opposing person to Lindsey Graham, it's like I feel like y'all are the same.
To be worse than Lindsey Graham is tough. It's tough to lose.
Yeah, I think he was a libertarian. I don't know if he still is a libertarian, but yeah.
Did you hear about the White Lotus that Mike White told that whole family to go watch Southern Charm for their accents and context?
And then when you watch White Lotus, you're like, oh, this is Pat Elchel, and this is absolutely Thomas Ravenel.
Yeah, that guy is doing Lucius Malfoy is doing
Thomas Ravenel.
I never knew I needed those two worlds to meet. You know, the one thing about what's that actor's name? I forget.
Lucius?
Jason Isaacs? Oscar Isaacs, Isaac Oliver.
I think you're right.
You knew his name, Nicole?
No, I think you're right. Jason Isaacs. I think that sounds right to me. You know, something I love about him in Harry Potter is he's a little cunty all the time, but he's not cunty in this, you know. He can
Not yet.
I mean, not yet.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there's a scene where he picks up that like a 9-foot-long blonde wig in the White Lotus and just starts getting cunty all around the resort. I feel like put any straight man in that wig that Mr. Malfoy wears and they get cunty.
Yeah.
I mean, every friggin' makeover episode of Drag Race, when they put, the Teamsters in the high heels, they all can do it so well immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait, back to RHONY for a second. I meant to bring this up. Did you all see on the socials that the Oscar-winning actress, Tar herself, Tilda Swinton, opened Luann's cabaret show?
Tilda Swinton is not Tar.
Kate Blanchett.
I mean, Kate Blanchett.
With love and respect, not Tar.
Oh my god, you guys! Today's been too long. What's another? I wish it was Kate Blanchett opening. No, Tilda Swinton though is who I'm talking about. I am talking about.
Yes,
yes.
Tilda Swinton opened Luann's cabaret, show. She was like, in looking like David Bowie, standing in the front of the stage. All these people are like, "What is happening?" And she just is like, gives Luann this beautiful intro, and then Luann walks on stage to perform her Fuck, Marry, Kill show in wherever they were. How crazy is that?
how did that happen? I'd love to be on that email chain.
Well, she
Tilda is fan. I heard
Yes.
Luann do some
Yes.
interview where she was like, yeah, Tilda loves the show and invited me to her house. And I went over and stayed over her house.
Yes,
What?
Tilda on a red carpet. It all started because Tilda revealed on the red carpet for Tar. No, I'm kidding. But Kate Blanchett is kind of playing Tilda Swinton and Tar in so many ways. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like,
I
don't you think
mean-
Tilda could do that role also? Like, I'd
For
like to see
sure.
the same, see it that way too. But no, Tilda was on a red carpet and somehow she out of nowhere brought up Luann and like the Housewives of New York and how like they're such wonderful characters on television. It's just something crazy like that. And so then that went viral, and then Luann like reached out, and then they connected, and then now they're like besties.
I
What
would
did
love to
can
be at
you
a dinner
imagine-
party with them.
Yeah, what do they talk about?
Do you think Luann knows about Julio Torres? I would love to know if she's seen Problemista.
Yeah.
I would say probably not, but I'm sure like her. I would say her social media, her gay social media manager probably did comment something on the Problemista like Instagram account though.
Luann's TikToks these days are wild.
Did you see the TikTok she posted where she was like smoking a joint?
No, she did like New York Fashion Week with some cannabis brand.
Okay, that's
Okay.
probably why. So it was.
Yeah.
She sang one of her songs and she put like it was. She was like, "Money can't buy you grass." She's just puffing a joint. Like, oh no,
There
she
was
says,
one-
no. I'm sorry. She says, "Money can't buy you class," and then she takes the joint out, smokes it. She goes, "But it can buy you grass."
Perfect ad.
Whatever cannabis company thought of that was like, let's trot her out.
It's
Genius.
It's crazy to me that she is just existing in this new like Patti LuPone. It's not even Patti LuPone. It's like a cabaret star space, but we're not watching it on a reality TV show. It really does.
I
bother
know.
me.
Sad.
Like I don't really care about Ramona and Sonia in that way anymore because they're all just still kind of doing their same things and probably hooking up with Tom D'Agostino down in Palm Beach somewhere. But like Luann
Ew.
has a genuinely crazy story.
A
that's
new
happening.
chapter that we are not seeing. You're so right.
Like I want to see her smoking joints, talking about the cabaret and talking about her tour with Tilda Swinton. I want that.
Yeah, I agree.
She's not. Is she one of the gals on the dating show, the Joel Kim
She
Booster
is.
dating
Oh.
show?
She is.
Okay. So maybe, we'll get some, maybe during her dates, she'll talk to them about her amazing new career.
You're right. I did forget about that. What do we think is going to happen with that? Because with the drama that happened, and
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
It's
know
so
where
funny
we
because
land.
he's such good friends with like, that scene. And I feel like Matt was on somebody else's. Matt Rogers was, I say Matt, like literally we're best friends. Don't know each other. Matt Rogers was on someone's podcast and talked about it in a way that was like, ooh, he feels complicated about this too. I mean, it was not a good move for him to post.
I mean, a
Shit.
tough move. I'm thrilled that he did it. Let's give a
Same.
little drama. Like, also, is Shannon difficult? Oh, I'm so shocked that
shocked.
Shannon might be difficult.
Yeah, I know. That was the thing. It's like that reveal wasn't so big. The thing, the thing that gagged me though is that he brought in John Jansen into the whole thing of it. It's like, oh, we have a gay. There's a fag is on the loose and is mad.
I wish we knew what she did to him to make him that mad to post because all the personalities on that show, like I'm sure people were difficult, but for her
Shannon
to
was
piss
the
him off
one.
that bad.
Isn't it?
Ugh.
Wait, it's Shannon, Giselle, Ashley, and
Ashley.
Luann?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's just.
I
I think it's
I
just
think
the.
so.
I think it's
Oh,
just,
and, and they're just going on dates.
yeah, it's
We
like
don't
Love
know.
Island. It's like there's these 4 cougars and then all these. There's like 30 guys and they just like go on
Oh,
dates
wow.
in this hotel.
Now, but where do you think this fell with Ashley and Jack Harlow?
Right,
Fake
I
Jack
was gonna
Harlow
say.
dating. Do you think that they're really dating? And then she's like, oh no, I have to do this show. I already signed up.
They had to have filmed that after the season of Potomac, so that is a little complicated, I guess. And then, but although she did say at the reunion that they are not together, they have not been together for a bit.
I thought you just
They've
said that
taken a step back.
they've taken a step back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Maybe
Stacy and TJ are not
well,
together.
oh my god.
I'm
What
sad
is-
we don't know
what
what,
are
the
we
TJ
gonna
drama
know?
is.
So this episode is backlogged, so it's going to come out after that episode will have aired. So you listening to this will know things we don't know, and that's hard for us because
We want to know
wanna
so
know so
bad
bad.
what
I
the
mean, of
TJ reveal is. Do you think it's going to be satisfying, or do you think it's going to be a
I think
disappointment?
it's going to be incredibly satisfying. I really do believe that it is. He just outs her for being an absolute phony.
Right, for paying him. That's what I keep hearing. Is
Yeah.
He
that
just shows his
he
1099.
The reason he's not there is because she didn't pay him, is the rumor.
Yeah.
I hope that's true. Having
thing
that
about
come out while they're at the reunion.
I know.
Wild.
But the thing about that bothered me was like when they hopped on FaceTime with him and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to go to that fake ass show. I'm like, one, watch your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is our house.
TJ.
We could talk about our family like that. You can't.
Right. And then two, baby, like you agreed to go on that fake ass show and in a fake ass relationship.
There's something wrong with that man. There is
Yeah.
something wrong with that man. I don't know what it is, but I there's a problem.
Well, he has a bit of Dateline energy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Ooh.
I think it's for the best that he's
That it was
out.
a fake hired relationship.
Yeah, he also just seems so thirsty. It's like, whatever, TJ, you wish.
I know.
You wish you were there. You wish you were on the show. Like, fuck off.
Yeah, you called. Okay, like you know what's happening. Like if you actually were above it, babe, you would just shut the fuck up and disappear and I never have to hear from you again.
Right.
But instead you're dragging Happy Eddie into this.
Please don't bring Happy Eddie into this.
Please.
And Greg, they said Greg at one point. They're like,
Greg?
Greg is here. And I was like, Greg, who's that?
I
And
don't
then
dismiss you. I
remembered.
never dismiss you. I've never dismissed you ever.
I did the way she says Greg, really, it just tickles me. She's like, Greg, Greg, Greg.
Ugh, gross.
Wait, something else that's happening on Bravo. Southern Charm is having a mess season, but we did have a very Jenny. I don't know if you caught this in the trades, but Nicole, I know if you're up to date. This most recent episode, Shep
Perfect
has
little freckled lips.
an obsession with some freckled lips on a lady in the Bahamas.
Wait, okay. Will you guys tell me who the Sienna woman is and what's going on there? Because I keep seeing her on TikTok.
On TikTok,
and I
yeah,
don't
she's
know
taken
what the
to
deal
TikTok.
is.
Yeah,
She's taken to TikTok.
Set the record straight.
the record that no one cares to know about. No, I don't know when they started dating, but before they started filming Southern Charm this season, Shep was on like a soul searching journey because he had a
God.
really dark end of last season because he is unfortunately doesn't have a great relationship with alcohol and had a rock bottom last year
At
with-
BravoCon.
At BravoCon,
Oh,
where he got in
no.
screaming matches with like fans at New York at like a blackjack table.
Oh no! At New York, Nicole and I have stayed there. Shout out.
New York is my favorite place to gamble. I'm not kidding. Because
Why?
Why?
because like it's the vibes are bad, but like,
Yes.
but you can take over a whole table with your friends. Like you can play blackjack
'Cause no one's
for
there.
hours at like a $5 minimum table, drink for free, and like it's not that big of a deal. You lose $100, but then if you go down the strip to like a nice place and play blackjack, you play for like 10 minutes and you lose $100.
Right.
Okay.
At New York, you can just like sit and like hang.
Yeah, and then you can go to the fake West Village and get a slice of pizza. Go to a
There's
fake
there's
bodega.
something about it that honestly is comforting to me. I can't explain it.
Oh my
But
god,
yeah,
we
Shep
stayed
had a-
there. We were in the pool, and the roller coasters going around the pool the whole time you're out there. So you're just like trying to drink your margarita, and then it's like, what? Every 5 minutes.
I didn't realize I've been on the roller coaster many a time, I will say, actually.
Really?
So
Any
as
a time.
So as kids, So I grew up in Dallas, and the
Oh,
flight
me
to-
too.
Oh, really?
But that didn't come up in our combo.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
We love to talk about Dallas.
Every fucking
Nicole-
podcast turns
Nicole
into
is like-
fucking Dallas
Okay,
diatribe. It
We won't
sucks.
talk about it. We won't talk about it.
I mean, you maybe your listeners want that.
No, they
I can't imagine mine
don't.
do.
But Jenny, where did you go to high school?
I went to ESD, the Episcopal School of Dallas.
Okay, got it. Very different lives. I was in Flower Mound.
Okay. Yep.
Flower Mound,
My brother works in Flower Mound
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah.
Nicole, the town is called Flower Mound.
Flower mound.
And it is named after a mound of
Oh,
flowers with a sign. I am being 1000% serious. It is a mound of flowers with a big sign in front of it that says the Flower Mound.
I mean, is it
wish-
impressive, the flower mound, or is it sort of sad?
No, it's so sad. There's
Okay.
there are no flowers on it anymore. It's like next to a grocery store. Let me just pull it up for you.
Oh, great.
I thought we were done.
Well, you've teased me enough. I want to see the mound.
That's
I don't
the
even see a
sign.
mound.
I know.
I think I get it.
Nicole's
That's
like,
the
don't
mound.
even. What?
That's fine.
Dallas is
Anyways,
so
back to
flat.
Shep. Back to Shep.
Okay,
So
okay,
Shep
okay.
had a
Yes,
dark moment.
who's this woman?
I didn't even say the reason I went to Vegas a lot was because it was like an easy place to just bring kids with my parents when we were young. Like we would meet our relatives there, and the adults would do adult things. We would just sit at the pool. And the thing is, like Vegas can be your own. You can have your own adventure in Vegas. I feel like if you're a kid, you can do kid things. Like there are like just be at the pool and go watch movies and eat pizza in the hotel room, and I don't know. And go on the roller coaster, New York, I guess.
Yeah.
Many times, as
That's
you've
why
said.
they designed those theme hotels. It was to attract families.
Yeah, it felt like
They
Disney.
did attract you. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Shep had a little moment at BravoCon, soul searching. While he was soul searching, he found this woman, Sienna, and I'm assuming they had to have met on like Raya, and Sienna and him like were chatting, and then he ended up going to the Bahamas to like meet her. It was like very 90 Day Fiance. And I think she just generally has not been into it, but like he just keeps showing up places and buys her things. So it's just like, okay,
Wait, does she live in the Bahamas?
yes,
And he, okay.
lives
okay.
in Charleston. And so they start filming, and then he's like claiming that they're like
Like, that's his girlfriend.
girlfriend.
He's saying that that's
Like,
his girlfriend.
He keeps being like, we're boyfriend girlfriend, and then she comes to Charleston for like a party, and the vibes are really weird. Like it's like I don't think she like knows you. And then their cast trip, they go to the Bahamas to be
Right,
with
I
Sienna.
saw pics. Oh no.
Yeah, and then she like doesn't show up to things. And, like she does show up, and then she says she feels sick. So she goes home, and then the next day she bails on things, and it's just all. It literally is an episode of 90 Day Fiance.
He at one point is changing his outfit, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs, and he's like, no, like, babe, you can like stay in the room while I change my outfit. You've seen me naked. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs. It's like, what?
So what's she saying on TikTok about this?
You know, I haven't tuned into the TikToks.
Yeah,
but
we don't
she's-
know that part.
She's saying that. Well, one, she's saying that Whitney slid into her DMs too.
Okay. Oh God, ew. Whitney's
Whitney,
hair.
there's a problem with Whitney
Well,
too.
But Whitney, so
Does
Whitney,
he still live with his mom? Is that true?
I don't know. I'm
no,
actually not
no.
sure what his situation is. But Whitney, he claimed that Sienna was coming out, wanted to date him and Shep just to get on the show. And so she took to TikTok initially because she was like, hey, he hit me up first. I didn't reply. Like, I have no interest in like being with this guy. And then she also claimed that she had never heard of the show or seen the show, which Southern Charm isn't like Love Island. So I'm okay with the idea that maybe that she had not seen it.
Right.
It's
But,
not
like,
huge in the Bahamas.
And she probably found out that he was like, I don't know, on a TV show.
I mean, in his
More
Raya profile,
interested.
it probably says
Charmer.
Star of. It probably says Charmer.
This is so interesting to hear where Shep has landed, because in my world where we are in the beginning, he's
Yeah.
very much like, I'm a ladies' man. I can get whoever I want. Like,
No,
blah, blah,
we're
blah.
still there. pretty
We're still
much.
there.
He's
Okay,
still
okay.
trying to be there. His body is just not like hanging on in
Right.
the same way that it was then.
But to be chasing a woman to the Bahamas, I feel like
No,
he would
because
never
it's-
have done that
it's-
in the past.
But it's the Bahamas. Like it's not like it's idyllic, it's beautiful, it's an escape, it's vacation.
Yeah.
It's of course that's what he wants. He like doesn't want some woman that lives in the town that he lives in.
And I think he's tried with most of the women in Charleston,
Right.
unfortunately. Or tried or succeeded with a lot of them. I think he needs a new crop of ladies, and maybe the Bahamas is his spot? Yeah, I don't know. But then, so the big cringe moment on the ep that happened most recently to us recording was that he sent this long-ass text to her that is diabolical. Just about confessing his love for her. And he said, isn't there something in it about like, I can't stop thinking about your freckled lips.
I mean, freckled lips are beautiful, but like, what a creepy
The,
thing to say to someone you don't know.
the message is very like, you're scared and we need to take a chance because this is love. And it's like, that's actually not the situation. The situation is she doesn't care. Not that she's scared. She's not scared.
No fear.
Wait, actually, in season 1, he is trying to date someone that's not into him. Maybe that's his thing. Is he always chasing? He's trying to date some random blonde woman who has a boyfriend whose name I can't remember.
You know,
He's
he
just trying
does
to
swing
fuck.
and miss a lot, but he's just always trying to fuck. Yeah, it's like, yeah, and the Southern Charm is interesting to me though, like because in its original concept, because that world there feels so removed from anything I've ever like experienced. I don't know about y'all, but Nicole, where did you grow up?
Jersey.
Yeah, nothing like
Nicole
Charleston.
definitely
I don't know
Understand.
anything about that. What they do down there.
Like, don't you feel when you're watching, you're like, what is this world? Like, same to
Yeah.
me, like Salt Lake City. Why Salt Lake City is so interesting to me is that it feels like a universe I have no idea what it's like there, you know?
Now, for me, I find it the men slightly obviously triggering, but like they do in a way because, like, I went to, unfortunately, the Episcopal School of Dallas. There was a lot of rich conservative dudes there in like khakis and boat shoes and polos.
Yeah.
So, not quite as scary as these guys, but definitely had a Republican energy
Yeah.
that was frightening.
Frightening.
But also like masked with like, come here, sit by me, little lady. You know, like this, like polite, but like I'm gonna touch your lower back and make
No.
you feel weird, like close talker.
Ew. Weird. You know, there is a frightening scene in early Southern Charm that because I did a rewatch of that recently too.
You're really sort of going back to the text.
You know, the world is falling apart around me, so I return to the text sometimes like that. No, and there's a scene where Cameron is like trying to get her real estate business off the ground, and she
Yes.
is chatting with this like real estate boss, and the real estate boss gives her like a run through of like how to sell a house, and they're in this house, and she literally wholeheartedly looks at a fireplace and is like, now this is what we call a slave fireplace because it was built, or like it's something great. Oh no, she says this is what we call a plantation fireplace because it was built by slaves. She says that on national television, and Bravo said, let's give him 10 more seasons.
10 more seasons.
I'm like, this is such a wild world that Charles, it is crazy over there. I mean, essentially, Thomas Ravenel films his entire existence on the show on a plantation.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
the
I
house
am
they
too
have.
northeast for this world.
I get it.
Yeah, Dallas is all new money. That's like weird old like like the fact that Thomas in the first season is like, Catherine comes from two of the most elite Charleston families.
Like, is
I'm
it
like,
Bridgerton? What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
What does that even mean? What are elite family names? Like, yeah, that part of it
Yeah, it's
is
weird.
very stressful.
Wait, so a bridge from Southern Charm to, because now you're getting some lore on Craig. I want to dive into Craig and Paige and the summer house of it all. How are y'all feeling about all of the headlines we're getting lately about the Craig and Paige split. Craig is like doing like went on Tamron Hall. Like it's just crazy.
It's too
Wild choice.
It's too much from Craig. I will say the one and only thing that I have found myself on Craig's side is that when Paige was, I guess, upset that Craig was not defending her when people thought she had cheated on him. Mm-hmm. That I was really like, if you fucking dump me and people think you cheated, like, fuck you. I'm not standing up for you. Like, I'm not gonna make a statement to help you. Fuck you. You dump me.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. I think the only thing where I get anti-Craig in that, though, is that, like, some of the statements he was making was, like, he could have just been, like there was that video he made where he's, like, sitting on his front porch, like, talking.
Yeah, something's wrong with him.
He could have just said, like, made it sound all positive, which is the story that we were getting. But instead he was like, there's some crazy things going around out there. And it's like...
yeah.
Okay, well, why do that? Because when you do that, then people start to, talk. But
I will say that a TikTok did come across my desk today.
Okay, great. Tell us about it.
That claims to have found Craig's Finsta.
Saw this.
Quite Trumpy MAGA shit, and has already, I think, it's gone private already. So it 100% was Craig's Finsta.
Yeah, Craig followed it, and it was like,
yeah, and the name was Craig. And it like followed like his mom. It's like, okay, you're gonna need to try slightly harder to hide this.
Yeah, and Jenny, it followed all these like crazy alt-right accounts.
Oh God! I mean, I'm not surprised considering where.
Right, but doesn't that make you
started,
then?
But Paige,
right?
Why are you?
No, that's then I'm like Paige.
Right. I mean,
right.
I do think she knew it was not forever. I do think she liked that it was a Bravo relationship. Like, I think she saw a business opportunity and was able to leverage it. And I think they probably had good sex or something. Like, there was
for sure.
She was never gonna. I never saw that as forever.
Also,
unfortunately for Craig,
distance can be fun sometimes, like in
right.
certain aspects, because like you don't really have to see them all the time.
Exactly, which she
my
seemed to
partner
love.
Sits, like in the room next to me.
Yeah, what was it? There was something. I'm forgetting now. But yeah, early on, she was like, "I love that it's long distance," and I was like, "Yeah, I get it." Like, this is not the amount that she loves long distance. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. The boyfriend before Craig wouldn't film, right? He was like weird.
Perry,
yeah. Thank you for knowing, Nicole.
Wow, really good work, Nicole.
Perry. Okay, wait. I have some tea on Perry.
What? What do you know about Perry?
That's not right.
What could you possibly know about Perry?
I have a coworker that was with Perry, and Perry, there was a little crossover when Perry started dating Paige and my coworker.
Oh gosh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we like Perry? Do we hear nice things about Perry, or do we
They
not
just-
hear nice things about Perry?
They said that she said that it was like short relationship, but like fun, and he was a nice guy.
Okay.
Nothing salacious there, but she was like, it was me before them on the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, to share with Paige, that's got to be hot for that.
Yeah. Elite.
Perry was cute. I thought Perry was cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was weird about filming, so I think like that was probably exciting for her to date Craig,
Yeah,
who was
that's
already
true.
like familiar with the world and like would come on the show and do all this stuff. So I think I see how it happened. And Winter House, I feel like that's like Stockholm syndrome. They all sort of are trapped in that house.
Yeah.
and
So
they're, like,
She
cold.
kind of mentioned also at one point that she like liked that he like got a little too lit and like they would just do stupid shit together. Like I think there was like he was just like a fun party person to be around, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's young, and she was like she was like 28 or 27 when they started dating.
Yeah, I think she's
I
quite a
get
bit younger than him, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is
I
he?
think she's like 32.
Yeah, she's around. She's I think a little younger than me, and then is he 40 yet?
I want to say yes.
You know, when you
Wait.
look up Craig Conover, the first thing it says, you know, like on Google, it says like underneath.
Oh my God, he's
it.
only 36?
He's only
I thought he was
36. He looks older
older.
than that to me. Do you think that's real?
I was going to say 38 men.
Yeah.
Right.
Same.
This is
But
like
actually,
Tom
he was
Sandoval
so-
being 39 or
he
whatever.
was
Well,
a baby. He was a baby.
Yeah, when
though.
they first started, he was child. So maybe that does make sense with time.
He is so young in the early
Yeah.
seasons.
I
It's
know.
so cute.
And lying about law school. It's really great.
Oh my God.
No, but Summer
That's so
House,
funny.
where are we at with the season? We were 2 episodes in at time of recording. I find the show endlessly comforting. I can't explain it. I don't.
Yes.
What is it?
I'm thrilled to be back with my friends.
Me too.
My brain needs them. Like I'm loving Lindsay toasting to Carl cooking dinner. That's so crazy. I love that. I am loving Sierra fucking giving it to West. He is a shell of a little baby boy. He's can't articulate anything. It's so embarrassing for him. It should just show her exactly why he sucks. I'm obsessed with the upcoming Kyle and Paige fight. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, are Amanda and Kyle going to end up together?
I don't like. Sometimes I think their fighting fuels their relationship almost. Like, couples like that they just like fight, and you're like,
Yes.
Yeah.
you're like, how does that work? And it just kind of is their thing.
I know, but it's not sustainable. I worry
don't-
for them bringing children into that. Not to get dark, but
I kind of think that a breaking point could be the children situation, where like maybe she may not want to have kids with him or something like that, or may not want to have kids anymore.
he's trying to be a DJ. Do you really want the father of your children to be DJ?
It's tough. But I have to say something about Kyle. When he is a nightmare, like misogyny starts to sneak into my brain and I start to laugh and love him. I can't. He's like the one like straight man on these shows that I'm like, guys, I don't know what to say, but I'm laughing. And like I hate that about me. But he's like, I'm not gonna say he's like a favorite of mine because his behavior is like abhorrent, but like, and he should never talk to his wife that way. But I do kind of like never want him to leave the show. Like, I just
No,
kinda, like,
in a
need him
vacuum,
there.
he's entertaining. I'm
Yeah.
just like, Amanda's my friend. Stay away from her.
Yes,
like,
I
get away
agree.
from my friend.
I agree.
But just to watch him, I could watch him pee on that fucking front stoop all day long.
How
I think it's fun.
I agree.
We have seen his ass. We got to see his bare naked ass.
Yeah.
So nice to be back with my friend Kyle's ass.
Yeah.
A little West tidbit. So I interviewed West here on the podcast right after, while during reunion airings.
Shut
Oh God, when he was
up.
getting dragged.
So I booked him for the pod like before, like during the season. Like the reunion was I had no idea if him and Sierra were still together. It was like when he was great on the show. And so we did. So then the recording came around. I'm like, oh my God, he's like doing terrible on this fucking reunion. He looks like a shell of a human. So scared to talk to Sierra, and just coming across like a fuckboy. But we forged ahead with the interview, obviously, and I was so kind to him. Like I could have dragged him about reunion stuff, but we really just talked about like first season of reality TV, like what's it like behind the scenes, like stuff in the house. And he also went as far, he'll never get to this, so I'm just going to talk about it, but he went as far to give me his number and was like, you're great, bro. Like, just text me if you need anything, like, whatever. I was like, okay, this went great. I was like, this could have been weird, but it went great. And I texted and I was like, hey, the episode is out. Like, I tagged you and everything. Would love if you could share. I think we had a really great chat that will, like, I think come across great for you. And he replied, he's like, sorry, like all the stuff that you said about me, like being famous now, that's a trigger word for the girls. So like, I can't wholeheartedly post anything about like me talking about fame. So like, sorry, bro, like no, can't do, like have a nice life. I'm like, wait, what?
Oh. Me being
Like, I don't know if he
trigger for the
record
girls.
like he specifically said it won't go over well with the girls, meaning
Right.
Paige, Sierra, Amanda, Lindsay, like they're all gonna be like, why are you doing podcast interviews, like trying to cure your image, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
I wanted to be like, bro, here's the thing. In your words, bro, here's the thing. Like I think you might think the reach here is a little larger than it is. Like I don't think that anyone's gonna be like coming to chase down this interview to like make you come across like a fame chaser. Like it's just. Meanwhile, you did a New York Times article.
I know. But to be fair, all the fights on the shows now are about what somebody said on a podcast. So like I hope that your pod gets mentioned on this season.
Yeah, you could be that guy from Salt Lake that
Adam
hooked everything up for Whitney and Lisa Barlow.
Yeah, I don't want to be him.
No.
You never would be.
My intentions are not like those people. Like I want to just like chat and like gossip and laugh and but they are chasing headlines. And I tried to make it clear to him that was not the point of this, but it's like, you know.
I don't know.
He's a baby.
That's
He doesn't
stupid.
know.
Yeah, he's baby. He seems baby.
Baby.
He's
like,
he's so
bro,
scared. Clearly, he's so scared of them. Like
He cannot form a sentence when they're yelling at him. He's too scared.
It's a bummer because he really did have a great first season. He was like,
yeah.
I thought he was a breath of fresh on the show. It was like
100%
straight guy who's like down with the girls, like just to be fun and friendly, and like he hopped into that group so easily, and now I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. And he also doesn't look the same.
He doesn't look great.
What do you mean,
What
you
is
guys?
I don't know,
When
but
he
it's
was-
not the same.
Do y'all follow Drunk Drawn? Drunk Drawn.
No, but what an amazing name.
Jenny, you're gonna
Okay,
gonna
I'm on
love,
Jenny.
and you probably
Okay.
do follow.
Drunk Drawn, they draw like
Drunk Drawn.
really hilarious caricatures of like reality stars. And
Oh
celebs.
yes, I've seen the Chriselle from Traders.
Yes. You need to see the Angie K. That's like a famous one of theirs. They draw Angie K as a cyclops for some reason, but it just kind of makes sense once you start
Greek.
looking at it. Like, no, but they did a drawing of Wes with like that scene of Wes sitting on Sierra's bed, shirtless, like talking so seriously, and it's just like big ass nipples hanging out. Because I have to agree, during that scene, I was like, why is he shirtless? And why is his little titties there?
This is when he was having his serious conversation with Sierra.
Yes, he was like, can
Wow,
we
what
just
a
be
horrible-
good? Like, I want to just move forward. And it's like, at least put a shirt on, you fucking weirdo.
It's not great.
What must it be like to navigate the world as a straight man where you just like can be shirtless, like comfortably with just like all this? It's just like weird. I've never been that type of person, and I never understand it. People that are just like get into a house and they're just like shirt off, pants off, and then they'll just like walk around and talk to people like that. What are we
Certainly
doing?
not on TV.
Yeah, no, it is. Well, that whole show, they're famously in a summer house, so they're always in their bathing suits. That's my nightmare to film that show.
I would be in a sarong at all times, like and a caftan, like head wrap, like I would look like Norma Desmond at all times. I could not be seen. Where do y'all land with Jesse?
I don't love what he's doing with this new girl. I like
it.
season. You
I
do?
I like it too, Nicole.
I like
Oh
it.
no, he's coming on too strong.
When he's like, no, I'm just kidding. No, but be like pretty serious.
He's also like low key, like he's doing okay. Here's what I didn't like when he asked her if people would describe her as ditzy, because I think that's like it's like a kind of like power move of him being like, I'm into you, but I'm not that. You're kind of stupid. Like I would, I would be attracted to that. Is the problem?
Yeah,
I would be
for
like,
sure.
oh, you're kind of mean to me. You kind of think I'm dumb. I'm gonna be obsessed with you now.
I mean, she is the most beautiful, like platonic ideal of beauty. So like, he has to say something like "you're dumb." He's trying to get on the same level any way he can. She's too beautiful. He has to do something.
And
I
this
don't.
story,
I mean, she's beautiful, but she's like, I don't know. So I think on Bitch Test they were talking about like, can we like it was you, Tom. I was listening to Bitch Test and Tom today on my walk.
The crew
talking about. Now I'm like, wait, who was it? Was it you talking about her makeup?
No, I don't. What did I? I might have talked about that.
Like
about how
why
it makes
is
her
she
look.
so painted?
She's
It makes
so
her make her look older.
and she's a child.
Yeah, she doesn't need so
it was
much.
me. It was me.
It was
It's coming
me.
back to me now.
give her the grace. It's her first season. You know,
I know.
she's probably going a little hard on the eyeshadow.
But did you know
she's
she has like 2 million followers on Instagram?
She used to date Brooklyn Beckham. I saw.
Yeah.
She's like a influencer slash fame chaser, I think.
I mean, look at her. Of course she is.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about influencers. Like, I have no judgment on that path because like you have to work so hard at being that type of human. Like
That's so true.
that like I could never.
never.
Do it. So I give props to that. Where I get annoyed is like I just don't want an influencer on like a show about like friends in a house when like they're just here to like get some more followers. It doesn't make sense to have them there.
Babe, influencers have friends too. It's just a job.
I know. I guess you're right. I mean, at some point they're just going to be everywhere. I mean, they are everywhere, but like it's only going to get worse.
This show, I'm okay with it. It's when they're like, oh God, on The Bachelor, where there's like a fake premise.
No, I'm sorry. That show
where
that show is that though. Like the point of that show now has become to sell
teeth whiteners.
I know, but that's why I stopped watching it. I think because it was just girls who wanted to make money hawking care of, or whatever the thing is. Because back in the day before social media, I did feel like people were like, maybe I'll meet someone. Or like, I don't know, be on a tabloid and like that's the most exciting thing that will happen. But now it's just to up your followers.
It's the difference between knowing that you have one season or the potential to like, this is your job for like 5 years. It's a different mindset that you're entering in with.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Thank you.
I mean it. Like
what
I know.
The mindset is different. Although on The Bachelor now they can go on spinoffs and other things. It's becomes,
you enter the nation.
It's a whole ecosystem.
Stop calling. I don't like when we call it the nation. I don't like that.
Face the nation.
I don't like that.
Face the nation. I can't believe that Nick Vial is the Charlie Rose of reality TV podcast. How did this happen? Yeah. Why does he have first refusal of everybody?
It pisses me off because it all happened out of Scandival because he had never watched Vanderpump Rules and like wanted to understand what was going on. So those girls that sit around him and like
who are those girls?
Hype him up. I don't know. I want better for them. They just sit around him and hype him up. They like told him the whole, the lore, and then he started interviewing Pump Rules people without watching the show, which was crazy. It was the same with like how Bethany interviewed Raquel, even though she had no idea who she was, and it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Howie Mandel, the craziest people sort of got
popped up.
I forgot about Howie Mandel. It's like some of us who've been doing the work for decades can't kind of get our hands on any of them. No, but I think it all kind of happened out of there, and then now he just any of the I feel like I call them like the B list, the JV team of Bravo, so like non-housewives, like the Summer House, Vanderpump Rules,
the kids.
Yeah, the kids. Even though they're all the same
kids.
age as some housewives, they're the kids. Like he just has them all on that show, and it's like, who cares? Like he's not a good I don't find him to be a good interviewer either. He just gets headlines out of them.
You know that girl on TikTok who like watches all of the stuff and then recaps it. The girl with the
Yeah.
bangs.
Yeah.
I don't love
There's
her
a couple
energy,
of
but
them.
I do watch.
I know
her.
the exact
You know
one
exactly
you're talking about.
I'm always like, I do want to hear what Sam
And
Ashgari
I-
had to say on Vial Files, but I don't want to listen
Why
to
is
Vial
she
Files.
the one that
But
has
why do
to
I have to
tell
listen to
us?
her?
I know.
I do think we will look back at the era of pointing behind you and laugh.
Yeah.
This.
Like when you watch the news, like when you watch I guess the weatherman does point, okay, but like when you watch Weekend Update, they're not like. I just think it's crazy. Also, the craziest part is that they're just reading the headline. Like most times they're just like, page 6 reports blank 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 blank.
I
What do you
know.
think? And then the episode, I mean the not episode, the video can end, or like their take will be 2 seconds long. Like that Adam guy from Salt Lake City.
Who we hate.
Who we
I don't know.
I
him, but
don't know him
we'll
at
take
all.
we'll take it offline. He posts like if you go to TikTok right now, I think he probably posts like 30 videos this week. Like he will post like 10, 15-second videos on the hour of just a headline and talk for 2 seconds, and then but they each get like 300,000, 500,000 views, and he makes like money. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, well, wait, what are we doing? Like, I'm like, we're talking for an hour and a half here, and he's talking for 10 seconds.
I know, yeah. I'm like jealous, but I'm also like, sad, you know?
I know, because what does it amount to in the end of it all? I don't know.
And this is going to crash and burn. Where is he going to be in 5 years? You know, like, I don't,
Guys,
where does one go?
In the real world, you can't point behind you when you're talking.
You can, but sort of nothing's there.
That's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
It's
wild.
Any other Beverly Hills? Any Beverly Hills musings? Yeah, Nicole. like there's some things. Any thoughts on Reba?
Plenty of thoughts on Reba. My main thought is, why is everyone that's a therapist the craziest person you've ever met?
Why? Why?
Every
I
therapist
cannot
that
believe.
you know in your circle, there's something wrong with, and Reba's no exception.
Well, I think, and I hope a therapist doesn't hear this. I think the thought process is, if I learn how to be a therapist, that solves my problems without having to talk about my problem. Like, it kind of like gets you in the door of therapy, being like, well, yeah, like I'm a therapist. Like I'm all good now.
I know, but like, imagine you're in a session with Reba and you're saying, I just wish my mom could tell me that she loved me. Like, she's a therapist. She's going to be like, yeah, totally. That makes sense. Right. Like, but why could she then not apply that to telling her own daughter that she loves her?
It's dark.
Unless she's terrible at her job and she's in her office being like, no, parents don't need to tell you that they love you.
But I wonder, like, what was therapy like in
the past?
1980?
Yeah, I'm like, is she an analyst? Is she just like listening?
Like,
Do you
what
know what I
is it?
mean?
Because
Because I don't.
it's
Her
evolved.
energy is not like talk therapy to me. I bet she's just taking notes on a couch. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine. Also, was she always a therapist? Did she
After what happened? Did she become a therapist?
exactly. That's what I'm wondering. I'm just like,
I think that'd be a tough time to sort of transition into.
I'm thinking about a lot right now with that whole situation. I want to spend so much time talking about the fact that she made Sutton make those crab cakes the day after the incident. I'm laughing out of like,
Of course,
uncomfortable
sheer
sadness,
yes,
fright,
of course,
out of fright. But
laughing out of fright.
it is so scary to me that she was like, now what you're gonna do is make those crab cakes, son, and you know how they're made.
Here's the thing. when there is such unspeakable tragedy, your brain, I am sure breaks, and you're trying to grasp onto whatever will make you feel sane and of this world. And for that woman that day, it was crab cakes.
It feels like the end of Signs, where Mel Gibson is like, "We're gonna have mashed potatoes, pancakes, like milk, like name of food." Like everyone's
You guys love Signs?
My husband watched it fairly recently. I like Signs.
I don't know about that one.
Although, you know, Mel Gibson.
Mel, we can't. Yeah.
Anyway. Rebo was fascinating. I'm thrilled. It was probably one of the more interesting things that's happened on this season, which I'm bored. I don't know why. The
stupid and bad,
of it all is boring me. I don't
What do you guys think about Bose?
I like her.
I like her. I think she showed up ready to just do a show. Like, I think she's not hesitant about getting into the mix. She's also not trying to kiss the ring of anyone, which I think is kind of refreshing.
Aligning herself with Dorit's not the move, but that also makes it seem like she doesn't care.
I kind of buy their friendship, to be honest with you, though. They seem genuinely friends. Like, because she like, Dorit came to her Watch What Happens live appearance. Like, I guess that's the only example I have. But to me, that feels like a big trip.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm digging it. I said this on our last episode, but every time in every scene, I'm always kind of thinking, who are we missing? Like, doesn't it always feel like someone isn't there?
Yeah,
and everyone's there.
I know. Because who did we lose? Crystal.
That was all. But it just feels like there's a dynamic kind of missing, and I think they need a couple new agents of chaos to enter into the mix.
Yeah, maybe it's still a Rinna void.
I don't think Rinna is the answer to any question, any problem.
Do you think they're bringing? I heard rumors are bringing LVP back.
Would you love
what,
that?
Nicole?
Nicole, do you like her? Wait, were you? You got so excited.
What?
Were you hoping we were going to say Eileen Davidson? Who was it?
I don't think we should talk about it, but have you seen the recent TikTok going around about Kathy Griffin saying what the Lisa Rinna rumor was? That's just what I was.
Oh, wait, no. You're gonna have to tell.
Okay.
Have to talk about it.
Okay, there's a video going around of Kathy Griffin saying that she heard from Lisa Rinna that what Kim Richards was saying about you want to talk about the husband.
I did hear this. But keep going.
Maybe you should tell everyone, Tom.
Finish.
What Kim Richards was insinuating was that Harry Hamlin had sex with a dog.
That seems like a lie to me. That seems too dumb for Lisa Rinna to want to break a wine glass.
Why would that? Why would that be the lie? If that's the lie, then whatever the real thing was must be so dark.
Well, you know what? Beast, how dare you, has a whole new meaning.
Beast, how dare you?
Oh, yeah. You beast.
Or what?
Or what?
Sorry.
I think I need to revisit that trip. I think I only watched that Amsterdam trip on, like, when it aired. Like, I feel like I've just watched it in memes after the fact, but
yeah,
that group of girls really was doing something.
Yeah,
I'd love to get Eileen back in the mix.
You know, I agree. I think Eileen should absolutely be there. I don't understand why Denise Richards has this new show, yet won't film with the Beverly Hills cast. I'm like,
right.
I don't get it. Is it just so you can have a little more control over what happens? Maybe, but.
I mean, we don't need her like getting in there with friends. She's not good at that. What she's bringing to the table is just that she's a nutbag. So like, give her own show to show that. That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think I just want some more presence in the show of like crazy. Kim Richards is top 3 best to ever do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we just talked about her, talking about Harry Hamlin fucking a dog, but it only kind of like brings her higher to me, that story.
I always think about her going into that corner to pray.
By the trash can.
Her mixing the chicken salad with her
So
fingers.
with her hands, yeah.
It's really for her daughter's senior prom.
She is a one of one. She is an original, and I wish her nothing but health and healing.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
And I think for that, keep her off the screen. But I'm thankful for the time we got.
You're right. Like these stories can just end. We don't need to be we can just always go back and re-watch them. We don't need more. Because will she ever do what she did then? Again, I don't think she will. Like I don't think she'll have that in her anymore. But
I hope for her sake she doesn't.
But I would love to have the 3. We never got them all at the same time.
I know.
And
That's a great point.
Apparently, Kim is not talking to the.
She's not talking to the other 2.
Yeah. Apparently they don't talk to her right now.
Yeah. There's 2 are always not talking to 1. It just switches which 2.
That's why you shouldn't have 3 kids.
Yeah.
As someone who comes from a family of 3, the 2 are always ganging up on one.
Yeah, I'm in friend dynamics with 3 and it operates okay, but like I just think sometimes that the 3 there's always someone who's going to feel like a little on the outs even when things are good,
Yeah.
White Lotus. Leslie
Lotus.
Bibb.
Oh, I can't wait to see what goes down with those 3.
Wow, cannot wait. I really I loved last season of The White Lotus, but this season, there's something about it. I think maybe just I needed a new show, appointment television. I've been missing that. I think that's part of it probably. But like, I'm really just loving this dynamic with this cast. And I love that Mike White uses these Christopher Guest actresses and like brings them into the zeitgeist for people that may not be as familiar with them. Like, Parker Posey and Jennifer Coolidge. And I hope Parker Posey has like kind of a star, her star rises because of the show.
I hard agree. I love her.
I feel alive when it's airing, and then when
Same.
it doesn't air, I feel depression for years on end.
I know.
But then when
It's been years.
I know, but now I feel alive again.
Boy.
I think it's because it's like it's why we love The Housewives, because it's like rich people doing bad things, but they're not real.
Yeah.
So we can kind of leave it where it
Yeah.
is.
So when it's gets too dark, it's okay because it's being make believe.
right. I heard a theory. Our episode that came out last week with the Brooke Ashley, she's a YouTuber. She has a theory that the robbery. Now, once again, this may have been revealed after this episode comes out, but the theory that the robber was Walter Goggins, and that like that's why he keeps being like, "You're fine," when she's like, "I almost died." And there's like when
Very PK.
very PK when Chelsea. Wait, what if PK was one of the robbers?
In White Lotus,
I think she would recognize. I think she would recognize his
build.
body. Yeah.
Babe, give me your phone,
Move.
babe.
Give me that bag, babe. While I'm at it, can you get me a Red Bull and vodka, babe?
Ick, PK.
I don't know, that was a theory that was fun to me. Also, like, who's gonna die? I don't know. It's fun. It's fun banter. What's happening over there?
I love it.
Well, this was a fabulous little chat, ladies.
So fun.
You're the
Thrill.
best. You really are. You make me cry laugh. I had a lot of cry laugh moments here today.
Yes.
And we'll let everyone know where to follow you and listen to the podcast and all that stuff.
Jenny do it.
Nicole. Okay, we have a podcast. It's called How Are You Brainwashed? You can follow us at How Are You Brainwashed Pod. The U is spelled with letter U.
To indicate that we are a fun podcast and it's not like actually about Scientology or something. So it's about fun.
It's about fun. It's about brainwashing fun.
It's a great show. Yeah, everyone go listen to it, subscribe to it. And you can follow me at the Tom Hamlet. Make sure to subscribe to the new YouTube channel. We're doing lives every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This week, we'll be chatting some more White Lotus and some Traders talk. So come over there. It also will be released as an episode of the podcast if you miss it. So check that out. And listeners, thank you for listening. And Jenny and Nicole, thank you for being here. Say bye to everyone. Bye, y'all.
Bye.